Hello and welcome to the Infectious Group Podcast, part of the Odd Pods Media Network. Recorded at the 33 1/3 Music Appreciation Center in Speakeasy, located just outside of Detroit, Michigan. The Infectious Group Podcast is your source for jammy jams, music news, and the best in-depth music discussion. Thanks for joining us. Now here are your hosts.
Hello. My name is Russ, and along with me, as always, is Kyle and Michelle. Michelle, what did we talk about last week?
Stuff.
Holy crap, she got it right for once. We did talk about stuff.
Marshall Mathers.
Yeah, just in general.
Just the whole thing.
Just everything that comes along with
it was
Marshall
a long
Mathers.
episode.
Yeah. We talked about everything but relapse, of course.
Yeah.
Anyways, yes.
Nobody likes them. Not even Joe.
A lot of people were very excited in advance about the episode. And what's weird is we have feedback this week. We have a voicemail to share from somebody who spoke directly to like our review of the album. Mm-hmm. And then all the other feedback we have is like Michelle-centric feedback. But so for as many people were excited.
Thank you.
That's more or less what it's going to be. So what's great, though, is like so many people were excited about the episode, and we got tagged constantly all week on like Twitter and stuff that was like, holy, I'm about to listen to this. I love this album. Like, great. And then almost all the feedback that came in was like this broad. I was told by a friend of ours who was like, I'm scared to listen to this episode. And I said, well, spoiler, Michelle said that she doesn't like Stan. And I got a text back in all caps that said, she's trolling.
I was not.
I'm aware.
I could have told you that so many times in our relationship, and because you bring it up a lot. And
you just waited till now.
I waited till it was recorded. It was on record for everyone to see.
Just in case the rest of the recording became evidence.
I could have trolled you so hard earlier.
Oh, no. So, anyways, we also have really, really good news to share about a couple of different things. Number one, the Odd Pods Media Network grew this week. We brought 2 new affiliates on board, which I'm really excited about. One is the Beard Al podcast, who I have represented for us on their show before. Like, I've gone on their show, and they're awesome. It's a brother and sister team who, you're never going to believe this from the title, but they talk about Weird Al and beer.
What?
Yeah. And one thing that's awesome about them is, like, they're listed right on the Weird Al website. Like, when you go, it's like, where can I find Talk About Al or whatever else? And there's like hundreds of Weird Al podcasts, but they are mentioned in like 3 of them. Like, they're awesome. Like this one, Beard Al podcast, and hundreds of others. Like, so they're that good. And then the Muck podcast we took on are a couple of ladies from Florida who are awesome, and they talk about like, it's kind of true crime, but they also talk about they talk about murder, but they talk about a lot of different legal aspects of things going on and whatnot. So being from Florida, that's unique, because they have a perspective.
I was going to say there's all sorts of shit that happens in Florida that doesn't happen anywhere else,
right? And they're from what I can tell, 2 sane people that are living in Florida, which from what I understand is the minority.
Yes.
So yeah. And so it's
great. Alienated in a whole state.
Yeah. So, so for me, one thing that's awesome about that, though, is on the entire network, the entire female representation was Michelle and Jamie from Married with TV. So we had 2 women out of the entire network. And then with bringing on the Beard Al has a woman on the show, and then Muck is hosted by 2 women. So we over doubled the female output on the show. Yeah, you were only one of 2.
50%?
Correct. Some say you count for way more than 50%. So
that's also a fantastic name, Muck.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah. It's a really good show. Like, I'm not saying that just because they're on. I texted Michelle the other day and was like, "You need to listen to this. Like, it's a really good show."
And then I forgot that you texted me that.
Giant surprise.
And then with the one that you told me about.
With as much as you 2 like Weird Al and beer, you should listen to Beard Al as well.
One more than the other, but I won't say which.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Do you like? Hold on. So the one that you like more, when you have more of it, do you like the other one even more?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which could be both.
Right. Right. So, anyways, as for us, I know I told you guys this, and I put it out on social media, but we hit over 100,000 plays, which is ridiculous.
Which is like, okay.
Yeah, not where we're aiming for, but we'll take it. Which is ridiculous. Like, that's incredible. So that's between YouTube, I think, results for like just shy of 30,000 of that, which is not bad either for how young the YouTube aspect of this whole operation is. Then all the rest of it came from, we switched hosts a couple times and everything. So like every time I do it, I'm like Charlie Day. I have to like put like a whole bunch of different things together to add up the numbers. But it was awesome, and we appreciate every single person that's helped us out in any way, shape, or form. Speaking of which, this is the last bit of podcast news to share with everybody, is we are coming up on our 100th episode. We already have a bunch of clips coming in from people, but if you haven't contributed yet and you want to, there's a couple of different ways you can do it. You can either record an audio clip and send it to us at infectiousgroupodcast@gmail.com, or you can call 313-364-9899. And what we're looking for is a 1 to 3 minute clip of you talking about an artist or an album that's had a positive impact on your life, which is what we have so far. Like everybody's turned in some awesome stuff, which is really, really cool. So that's what we're looking for. And when we get to the 100th episode, we're basically going to be playing everybody's clips and then having us discuss like everybody's favorites and everything. And Kyle and I talking about what a rough year and a half it's been hosting the show with Michelle. Michelle telling us all the things she forgot about and how many different topics we can revisit. But for her, it'll be the first time.
It will be the first time. Every day is the first.
Every day is a new day for you.
Yes.
So anyways, having said that, we do have some feedback on last week's episode. And like I said, oh boy, is it very Michelle-centric. So we'll get to that right now.
Feedback, Joe.
Don't worry about that. Right. There's rock and roll be without feedback.
So I did say we have a voicemail from Seth regarding the actual review, and then the other feedback that we have is on the episode in general. So I'm going to go ahead and play the voicemail from Seth regarding the actual review of the album first.
Hey, Infectious Groove Podcast. This is Seth giving you a call back, making my grand return to the podcast. So I just wanted to call and give some feedback about this week's episode. First of all, I was a little bit disappointed in Michelle that she did not go with the Black Parade angle, but you know what? There's still time. Second of all, I really enjoyed the album pick of the Eminem show, as Russ likes to call it. But
I was
really
like, damn it,
appreciated that you talked about like the language that he was using on.
I'll run this back real quick. But the same thing when I got the voicemail, I was like, he did it. Oh no, he's just making fun of me. Nice. Yeah, I don't know why I did that last week, but
every time.
But I sure said it every time. Anyways, the important part of Seth's voicemail is coming now, so I'm going to let that play.
Really appreciated that you talked about like the language that he was using on the pod or on the album, and I mean, it's like it definitely wasn't okay language to use at the time, but it wasn't like people weren't like calling it out like how they do nowadays. So, you know, was someone that was like, I don't know, it's just like, it's kind of a gray area for me. Like, I still like Eminem for the most part, and I'm not like a stan, but I do enjoy this album. So, I mean, it is a complicated subject. I'm not saying it's okay. Like, and I don't think Eminem's justification by saying, oh, well, I meant that it was bad and you're an asshole, because then you're just saying that gay people are assholes or like bad. There's something bad about them. So that justification doesn't really work. But, you know, he said he did make some changes. Later career, he did kind of like get called out for this language and ended up doing like, I think it was at the Grammys, the performance with Elton John, just sort of like bridging the gap between the communities. And so, yeah. So, I mean, it's like, you know, people can change. And so I'm not like upset with Eminem. And I think that, you guys are all crazy for not you all. Michelle is crazy for not liking Stan. And also too, I don't think it's fair to say that like, that you don't like the song, but just because it gets played so much, like, but I think Russ kind of touched on that as well. So anyways, I'm not the guest on this podcast, so I will let you all go and just let you know that I like really enjoyed your episode. So looking forward to next week. Bye.
So we do need to get Seth on the show, by the way.
We do. What is the limit for voicemails? Because that was a long one.
It was. That was like 3 minutes. So around 3 minutes is my guess. But what's funny is Seth sent me a DM on Twitter because, I think we owe him a plug. He hosts a RuPaul's Drag Race podcast called Thanks for Coming. And he sent me a DM after he sent that. He was like, sorry for the rambling. And I was like, no, like, we want any and all feedback, like anybody who doesn't want to hear Seth every week, 313-364-9899. Use the damn voicemail and you'll hear other folks as well. But having said that, we got into a conversation about it. And one thing that I thought was really nice of him to say was he said that it was brave of us to even tackle the language aspect of that, because he said most podcasts would just glaze over that and be like, yeah, but the real Slim Shady's fun. like, and not even go into it. So, and I told you guys that was important to me, and both of you were like, yeah, absolutely, like that we need to talk about that, because for me, I wouldn't want to be like 10 out of 10. Here's an awesome album you should go pick up, and then have like someone get in the car with their kids and put it on and be like, do what now? You know what I mean? Like,
Slim Shady's not for the children.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about this before, like, and I even mentioned in that episode that I said I was listening to Amityville with my son, right? And my son's 15, so a lot of people might be like, Father of the Year over here. But when I do that, and I know you both know this about me, and I know, Kyle, you're the same way with your son, and if your kid lives, Michelle, hopefully someday you'll be able to teach her stuff. But I explain to him the hows and whys of things. You know what I mean? Like, when the track's going, I'm like, this is why these things are being
because he's mentally
said.
ill in Amityville.
No, I tell him Aunt Michelle is mentally ill. And then what he always says is true. So anyways, we have some other feedback. So there's another big supporter that I don't think we've ever mentioned on the show before, and she runs a great true crime podcast called the Reverie True Crime Podcast, and her name is Paige. And when she listened to the episode last week, I could tell right where she was in the episode because she retweeted it with a gif of Will and Grace of the I love her. And it says, for the record, Michelle has the best gems and she is amazing. She cracks me up.
Yes.
Then the next thing that came was actually, I forgot about this. This was from the Thanks for Coming podcast. Says, how is the show not sponsored by BetterHelp? Michelle needs it. Which I thought was wonderful.
Yeah, BetterHelp.
You've got your army growing here, Michelle, because we had a new listener.
Like the Larmy?
Yes. The Marmy. So we had a new listener, or at least a new commenter, at least on the Facebook page, said Michelle was right to ask about the name of the B-52s. It comes from the hairstyle, not the airplanes, which is what I said it came from. However, the hairstyle is named after...
You fucked up.
Yes.
You fucked up.
Yes. So did you mean to say thank you for that, Neil, or were you just more concerned with insulting me?
I was more concerned that you were wrong.
Yet another great opportunity to use the Dr. Cox done, and don't push the button now. So this is my favorite piece of feedback that came in from the entire week, which is this here. For the record, Michelle does produce some real pearls. You know how a pearl is formed? Through constant irritation. That's my favorite piece of feedback that came in, probably ever. That was from Aaron at that I Had to Say It podcast, who's another person who, like, I'd say 20 times a day he recommends us on Twitter. Like, if anybody ever tweets out, hey, who's listening to, what's a good podcast? He like instantly is like, you should hear these people. So
he's saying that I'm great.
Yes. Yes. Is that what you're hearing?
That's what I heard.
Okay. Well, however you hear it is up to you. One last piece of feedback I want to share, and I haven't really shared. We get a ton of comments on our YouTube videos. Mm-hmm. I say ours loosely, but our YouTube videos.
I keep saying your, and you're like, they're ours.
We had more requests this week for when Michelle's going to be on the channel.
I'm just building up the
hype, momentum.
So somebody left us a comment through Discord, actually, like about our YouTube channel, and this woman sent
anticipation.
There we go.
Oh boy, sent us a message. Yeah, and we're back. Sent us a message that said
Discord?
Right? That said that they watched the video I put up about there's a rare 5 LP version of an Elvis album called That's the Way It Is. And a lot of people don't even know that it exists. Like Elvis fans, when they go through my record bins, they're like, what is this? And I'm like, I know, no one knows about this. So anyways, this person like hinted around to their mom because their mom's a huge Elvis fan and was like, you ever heard of this? And the mom was like, no, what are you even talking about? So she went, because of our video, she went and found one and got it for her mom for Christmas.
Aww.
Yeah, so she's like, the only thing that sucks is now I have to wait like months because she wants to listen to it too. Yeah, but she wants to listen to it too. So now she's just like sitting there not listening to it, waiting to give it to her mom.
Just find a way to vacuum seal it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
that's fine.
That's what Christmas is about. You getting to use the gift first.
Wait, that's not what Christmas is about?
No.
Shit.
Believe it or not. All right, so this finishes the portion of Michelle feedback from this week, and we will move right along. Our jammies. Kind of short and sweet for me this week. I somehow got the title track to Van Halen 5150 stuck in my head, which is like not at all. There's like monster singles
Van
off of
Halen
that
is
record.
Like your jammy jam more often than not. So
that's not true.
That is true.
Oh, really? The expert on what we talk about on the show is going to tell me what my jammy jam is for?
I specifically remember jammy jams because I have to do the fuck playlist.
The title track from 5150 by Van Halen. That record has monster hits off of it. Best of Both Worlds, Dreams, Love Walks In. You know, it's got these massive hits, but like the title track from that album is one of the best Van Halen songs that there is. And like no one gives the song any credit at all. So somehow this week I got it stuck in my head. And then when you go listen to that record, you're not going to just listen to the title track. Best of Both Worlds, Dreams, Love Walks In, like all the stuff that's on there. I was just like, well, this is going to be my album all week. I was running errands the other day in the middle of the daytime, and I listened to the title track like 7 times while I was like just out and around. Like every time I got back, like if I went to the bank and got back in the car, I was just like, well, starting it over, you know. And then if I got to the next place, 5150 again. So that for me is the big deal. Now I feel like I'm going to go back through our playlist and prove you wrong on this, but I don't think it's going to be.
And you know how you can do that?
Wait till infectiousgrouppodcast.com and wait till our January episode when Kyle loses his mind about Spotify again. Holy crap! Watch when we get there. It's going to be like you listen to Van Halen way more than you thought you did. So, anyways, Kyle, what are your jamming gems?
So I've been watching this show on Netflix a lot called Better Feed Phil. I think that's what it's called.
I think you're right.
You've been watching it like every day religiously. You don't know what it's called.
Like I was listening to this Van Halen album. Crap, what's it called?
Well, for a second I thought it was called Must Feed Phil. I was like, that doesn't sound right. It's called Better Feed Phil.
I thought it was called You Should Feed Phil.
Yeah. What kind of bizarre world is this episode happening in, by the way, where Michelle is stating things matter of fact and you and I can't remember things?
It's this 3% beer I got here.
It just so happens that Michelle was watching an episode and she noticed that she recognized the intro of the show of it being a certain band.
Mm-hmm. From Better Call Phil.
Yes, that's what it's called. You figured it out.
But the band is Lake Street Dive.
Oh, yeah.
And I had no idea. I had never even heard of them until...
if you want to step by my bins over there, I got a couple records.
She mentioned them, and I didn't think anything of it at the time, and I was just downstairs working on some website stuff, and was like, I'm going to listen to them, and dug in, and holy shit.
Dude. Lake Street Dive ain't no joke.
Yes.
I came, and I know you know this other artist. I came into Lake Street Dive at the same time that I heard St. Paul.
Yeah.
So, like, that day, it was literally the same day. That day for me was like, well, this is, you know, and I don't mean to hijack, but this is why we do this. You know how people are always like, oh, there's no new good music out there?
Yeah.
Horseshit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, I can shut your whole argument down with St. Paul and the Broken Bones and Lake Street Dive.
Yeah.
You know?
And her voice is...
Oh, I know.
God.
Yeah.
Well, then I reminded you that you've heard You Go Down Smooth.
Yes.
Play that for you. And
we did have one of their songs on one of our playlists, but it didn't even occur to me that there was this whole same thing. And the music is nothing like the intro to the show.
Right.
But goddamn, it's so good.
I think I have everything except for their newest one. I don't think I bought their newest one yet, but I have everything before.
And I only had a chance to dig into one of their albums, which was Free Yourself Up.
That's the first one, I think. Either the first one or the new one from Better Call Phil. We don't know things.
Let's see. It says this one came out in 2018.
Okay, well, so that's the second one.
Okay.
Well, I do have it anyways.
Yeah, but damn, it's so good.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. I think they're out of Chicago, and they have a little blues flair to them, which is expected from Chicago.
Yeah, I don't even know what kind of music would you classify them as. It's
blues, pop, rock. I would put, like, if you're gonna stagger somebody, say this is jazz blues or blues jazz or whatever. I would put
hate putting
blues
labels on things, but like people like to know what they're trying to get themselves into. So.
Yeah, because if someone's listening to this, you know what I mean, and they're like, well, I don't know if I like that or not, I would call them blues before anything else.
You got it. We were talking about this like a couple days ago, and I was like, I don't even know what you'd call it, but blues pop rock would be,
which is like a great subgenre to be in.
Yeah,
you know, because you could take people like Michelle, like you're not a blues person, you know, and I'm not huge on blues, but I love what I know, right? So for me, it like fits the blues aspect that I like, and then for someone like you, the pop rock carries it more than the blues.
Yeah,
you know.
I would say I was telling him that like I have days where like her voice is grating. Like I've overdone it with Lake Street Dive before, but then I'll like don't listen to him for like several months, and then I'll be like, oh my god, this is so great.
You come home, Michelle's asleep on the couch. What happened? Oh, she tuckered herself out. Lake Street Dive again. So, but anyways, yeah. So great band though.
Yes.
Like, and that's awesome that you came into them. And
I honestly would have never.
If you need to borrow records, I got it.
Yeah, I never even would have dug into it if Michelle hadn't have noticed them on the theme song of that show. So beyond that, Johnny Craig released a new album.
Again?
Yeah, again. Don't sound so enthused.
Isn't he the druggie you can't get in a band?
Yeah, he's like, he holds a record, I'm pretty sure, in the music industry, being kicked out of bands.
Sweet.
He's literally been kicked out of like 5
I
bands.
feel like this is the 40th time he's had a new record come out since I've known you.
It might be.
We're just going to ask you once again to please speak louder. That's my favorite part of editing, and I'm going to remember this tomorrow when I have to highlight that whole sentence.
Cut it out.
Or you could speak in a normal volume. Yeah, that's great. Thanks for
His
doing
new
that.
album is called The Places We'll Never Be. And if you like his solo stuff, it's very much along the lines of his older solo stuff.
You better like his solo stuff.
Yeah, that's all he has. That's all he has now. Solo stuff. Yeah. And sometimes I really hate giving him props or attention on the podcast because he's an asshole in real life. But
Well, if we're going to go over getting in trouble for giving attention to assholes on the podcast, like that's like
Yes.
30-40% of the artists we
I
talk
give
about.
attention to both of you.
Hold
Hold on.
oh my god. I think the crickets would have been a better fit for that. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Go on, Kyle.
And to round it out, there's a rapper named Maxo Cream, and
sorry,
I
what?
don't know where he's out of. Down south?
Maxwell
No,
cream?
Maxo.
Maxo.
Oh, cream like three worth?
No, Maxo like MAXO.
Okay.
And then Cream KREAM.
Gotcha.
Got it.
Go on.
I think he's out of Texas, Houston, maybe. I could be wrong. But he has an album called Brandon Banks. It's not new or anything, but it is.
That's
good.
been on your
Yes,
rotation.
it is good shit to listen to.
Cool.
If you want some good rap.
So once again, I didn't set you up for diversity, and there it is. Kyle's diversity. I feel like if I would have said he was diverse, he would have just been like, nope, just rap. Like left out the other two artists.
It's just Donda again.
Right. Michelle, since you've had such a wonderfully easy time operating your phone this week, would you like to share your jammy jams with everyone?
I have 2.
Which, by the way, for the
Oh,
audience,
that's 50% more than normal.
audience listening right now, I cut out about a minute and a half between Michelle's wait a minute and the rim shot that you heard because of her amazing phone skills. Go
Well,
on.
I thought it was called drum roll, so I was looking in the D's, and
Yeah.
it's called rim shot.
Yeah, it's always been called rim shot, but go on.
It's in the R's.
Yeah, it's right there in the R's. And it, like the one week where you told me they weren't in alphabetical order, but they sure were.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, what are your jammy jams, Michelle?
I have 2.
Oh, we're getting double the jammy jams this week?
One of them is directly from, it was brought to my attention from Grey's Anatomy again, because I'm...
Giant surprise.
Yeah,
So
I'm on
which Snow
season
Patrol
15.
song?
It is Snow Patrol.
Yeah.
It's called Life on Earth.
Okay.
It's great.
Is it the one where they say the same thing over and over?
I don't think so.
I don't
Yeah, it's
doubt
not,
that.
I don't hate that song. It's not bad.
I don't hate anything that they do.
Yeah, it's just
The only time I've ever hated Snow Patrol was partially your fault. Was the time that she made me go to see Snow Patrol, and the whole show she was texting you, and I was like, "Why are we even here?" Like,
To
I
hear
don't.
the one song, man.
Yeah. Oh, yep. Yep. And they sure did it.
They did it at the Encore.
So what is the name of this masterpiece by Snow Patrol?
Life on Earth.
Okay, and
And they played it on Grey's Anatomy.
and they played it on Grey's Anatomy.
But that's not why I liked it. It just came to back into my life because of Grey's Anatomy.
Gotcha.
And then, in even bigger, better news, Walker Hayes
Oh my fucking god!
did a version of Fancy Like with Kesha.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Good. Yeah, I was hoping it would get worse.
it did.
It's not worse.
Okay, so full disclosure. The months ago, you came to Jammy Jams and you were like, I think I like Blowjob Country.
Yep.
And then you told me about this song.
Yep.
So, against my better judgment,
Yeah.
I got into the car and put this song on.
Yep.
It lasted about 14 seconds.
I know, Kyle's
I
hates it.
told her on the way over here, I was like, you do realize that people down south are embarrassed by this music, right?
I think everybody's embarrassed by it.
I'm embarrassed for them.
People in the North Pole are like, don't put that on us.
I don't know. Kesha likes it.
I think Kesha probably likes the money that's coming from it. I
No.
guess. Yeah, I would guess.
No, not Kesha.
So, in an unexpected twist, double the Jammy Jams from Michelle this week.
And they're both gems.
Yeah, well,
No comment.
don't put that on me. We are going to take a break. And when we come back, our main topic of discussion this week, we're going to find out exactly how old I am. Because we're going to talk about the future of the album. In
45.
Quotes, the albums. 45 what? We'll be right back. You're listening to the Infectious Group podcast on the Hot Pods Media Network.
Hi, I'm Lauren.
And
I'm John.
And we host the Beard Owl Podcast, the podcast where we talk about two of the greatest things in the world, beer and Weird Al.
And a bunch of other stuff.
That's right. Do you like nostalgia? Do you like sibling banter? Do you like beer? Do you like Weird Al? Are you human?
If you answered yes to any of those questions, give us a listen. Become one of our loyal commenters.
Hi, I'm Tina Jaramillo.
And I'm Hillary Doherty.
And we host the Muck Podcast, where we discuss the dark and sometimes weird true stories in American politics.
Hey, Tina, did you know that Elvis crashed the Nixon White House for the sole purpose of getting a DEA badge, and it worked?
What? Or how a gun control advocate senator out of California engaged in gun trafficking with notorious gang leader Shrimp Boy?
Shrimp Boy, I remember him. Okay, so, we cover all of that and more from maladies, madness, mischief, and murder in U.S. politics.
And we also host a bi-weekly interview segment called Lil Muck.
We interview politicians, journalists, activists, and others who share their experiences in politics.
Find the Muck Podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, and check us out on social media at the Muck Podcast.
We're back, and we're really back this time because for the first time in almost 100 episodes, we just did about half of the second half of the show. Without me having hit the record button. And I know we have a lot of fellow podcasters that listen to the show, and I've seen that on Twitter a lot, like people being like, holy cow, I can't believe and every time I'm always like, not like mean about it, but I'm like, wow, like I don't think I've ever done it. Like, I don't know. And shit, it just happened. Like we got, I'd say a solid 10 minutes into this. But the good news is, it's as Michelle pointed out right before I did hit record, she doesn't remember what she said. So I feel like I brought up some things in the first go through that we weren't recording that I'm going to say, and it's still going to be news to Michelle.
Yes.
So we are going to talk about, while we're being recorded this time, the album. And like the reason why this came about was because a couple of weeks ago when you brought up the latest Kanye record, and we were talking about, we knew in the lead up you were like, it seemed like every week there was a new version of it. Mm-hmm. And which, by the way, and I didn't ask you this in the first go around, the new album, has it been updated yet? Like, because you were saying that the curse words were missing and stuff like that.
Oh, I did. So it's on purpose.
Oh, okay.
So he let people record whatever they wanted to as far as verses go, but then removed the cussing because it is an album that is in remembrance of his mom.
Okay. Well, yeah, and so, I'm done with that.
So that's the reason why there's no cussing.
Okay.
And even he cusses on the record, but it's blocked out. It's just...
But whatever. Yes, it's an artistic choice.
Yes.
So... thing was, when that record came out, I did some research and found out, and I didn't know this, but I'm sure you did, the album before that, which you said was The Life of Pablo, was re-uploaded like several times before he said it was done. And we were talking about how that would never be a thing before. Like if that record had come out in 90, 95, 2000 or whatever, they wouldn't release it. And then 6 months later be like, come get your exchange. Like, like here's the new version of it, So, what I did in some research on this, I was looking up to find out like where the name album even came from, because like it's just something I've always said as a kid and never even thought about. So I went to look into it and basically found out it was a copyright thing because Columbia Records introduced the long playing record in
the LP?
The LP, correct, Michelle? Which is your favorite of the three, not singles, not issue.
I don't even know which one's which, okay?
We know. Because it's hard.
It is hard.
Yeah, I just wish that they had accurately titled them like single, extended play, long play. These are wildly
How
confusing.
Is extended not as long as a long?
So when Columbia Records introduced the long playing record, when they introduced it, what they did was they trademarked the term LP. So then record labels didn't want to pay them just to use that term. So they were going around it. And so what they used was they would either just say this is the new record, or they would still use the term album. And I was like, okay, that's all fine and good, but who said album? Like, why is album a thing? And the way that came about is because 78 records, which was the format before 33 1/3 long playing records, Michelle, not EPs, long playing records, because they held such little music, to put out a full record on a 78 would take up 3, 4, 5 records, and they would put them together in a hardcover book. And then it would be like an album. The reason why that stuck around is because of the copyright on LP. So people were just like, well, we'll just still call it an album, even though it's like one thing now instead of several, and it's not a hardcover book, And then we've just used that for every format. Like even when 8-tracks were a thing, it was like, like, oh, that's the new Elvis album on A-Track. You know what I mean? Like it just, people just kept calling it albums, and that's what it is still. But for me, album for me has always referred to the full, complete piece of work that you've put out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, Michelle, if you would please share with us your thoughts and opinions on what an album is to you.
To me, an album is, like you said, a completed work. It's like 10 to 12 songs. It's finished. It's polished. It's out the door. You don't get to, no takes backsies. You don't get to come back and
So
redo it.
Kanye's not playing by your rules?
No, and you can do, like, if you wanted to add a bonus track later on and make people try to pay for it again or whatever, like, that's okay. But don't go back and redo all the songs. Like, you need to, at some point, it needs to be done. Just finish and release it.
And we'll get into that more a little bit later, but I feel like that's one of the things with technology lately has done, where it allows artists to do that.
Yeah.
Just be like, oh, no, here's this version.
I was going to say, well, Kanye's older stuff, they're just completed albums.
Yeah.
Because he had to turn in a completed album and was not able to change it afterwards.
And now he's got
now he has the balls in his court.
He's got the stroke to be able to do it too. Yeah. There's a reason why Axl Rose sits around for 13 years between albums, and it's because nobody can force him to do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If GNR was a new band today, they would be like, no, you're putting this album out.
Oh yeah.
You know what I do like?
Go on, Michelle.
Is when they have like those secret bonus tracks on CDs.
For sure.
Where like you have to listen to like
that
30
is
minutes
such a weird thing for you to say.
Of silence. I don't know. I feel like it's like an Easter egg. Like you could find it.
I feel like that would be like against the rules. Like you would be like, why do you make this hard for me to find?
I don't know. I just feel like it's like this like diamond in the rough. Like you just It's like
I feel
an adventure.
I feel like when it was used correctly, it was great. Like
when it was used incorrectly.
Well, I mean, it's like all things. Like along the line somewhere, everyone just started doing it, and you're like, okay, well, yeah.
Like the forced encore at concerts.
Yeah. Oh Lord.
Don't even. For example, used properly would be like something that Nine Inch Nails did, or Marilyn Manson did, or Tom Petty did.
Yeah, I remember the first one I remember was Nine Inch Nails Broken.
Yeah.
And then Marilyn Manson for sure.
Yep.
And then the one, there's the band Cracker was known for, I think their biggest hit was Low. I think there might have been another hit off of there. Nope. There might have been another hit off of that album as well, but there's a hidden track on that album called Euro Trash Girl that's like as good or better than
You're
the
a
hit.
Trash Girl or Euro?
Euro Trash Girl.
Okay.
Or you're a trash girl. However,
either one.
However, it could be that.
It could be both, depending on who you are.
Right. Yeah. But I feel like those type of things wouldn't happen again because of technology now. Like you would just look at it on streaming and be like, oh, there's the 13th track, or whatever. Like I feel like the formats along the line have been, and that's also something that came about specifically because of the CD format.
Right.
Like that you wouldn't have been able to do that on vinyl. You know what I mean? You
Right.
I mean, worst case scenario, you flip it over and the album has 6 tracks listed on side 2 and there's 7. You know, and
what
you're
if
like,
there was
oh,
just a
this is
bonus single inside?
I've seen that done before too. With
didn't the Lone Bellow do that?
The Lone Bellow have done it. Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life, came with a 7-inch record. Like almost every time you see that listed for sale, it'll say like with or without the 7-inch single. But yeah, I've seen a lot of different variations of that stuff done. And then you get Third Man Records doing all sorts of goofy stuff with LPs. Just like there's the one Jack White record that has like 7 different things happening on it. Lazaretto, like the side 1 plays from the inside out instead of from the outside in. And then side 2, the first track on the album has 2 different intros depending on what catches the groove first. So like there's you'll either get an acoustic intro or a rockin' intro, and they both mold into the same song.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah, and that's like there's like 10 things special about that record, and some of them are dumber than others. Like side 1 is like glossy and side 2 is matte and whatever, There's actually songs in the label. You have to scratch off the label to hear songs that are in the label, and one of them's at 45 RPM, the other one's at 78 RPM.
Did you do that?
I would not do that, no. No, for 2 reasons. Number 1, I don't care to hear it that much. And number 2, I'm not putting my stylus through anything that's been scraped, like with a bunch of like hard printed stuff on it and everything. No, plus I'm sure someone did it and put it on the internet so I could just hear it that way if I really wanted to. So for me, album, almost exactly what you said, Michelle. Like it's got to be like a collected work of what the artist was doing right then. Like when I was a kid, before I even knew what why the term album was used, I always thought of it as exactly like a collection of pictures, like a place and time.
Yeah.
Like if you have an album of like family vacations, like that to me is what an album, almost like how I spent my summer vacation. It's like what an album is for me, you know. And I love concept albums because it's literally, this is exactly what I was going through like at this time, and I'm going to talk about it for 40 or 80 minutes depending on if it's a double album or not. And concept records, I think, are another thing that can be done really well and can be done really, really bad. And I think that almost like, I think Sturgill Simpson was the first country concept album I ever heard of, with Sailor's Guide to Earth. And then now, like the brand new Casey Musgraves record is also a concept record that pretty much is about exactly how much she doesn't like her ex-husband. But that to me, I love that, but I also don't think that that's you have to do that. Like, I personally love concept albums, but I also am not opposed with, like, for example, the last Van Halen there they go again, Van Halen, the last studio album that they ever released. A lot of Van Halen fans were mad because more than half the album was sourced from like old demos from their first 2 records. Like, they just went back and were like, oh, we should have used these songs. And they like rewrote a lot of them and whatever else. And a lot of Van Halen fans were mad about that. So I could see people being like, well, this isn't even where you're at now. You know, like, I love that album, but I could see fans being like, well, that's not really even an album. You know what I mean? So for you, Kyle, what do you consider to be an album?
Well, I will say that I do also miss like the secret songs and like stuff that artists used to try to do to like lure you into buying their records. And
you act like they're selling them out of a white van. Hey, kid, you like music?
It's like, but now that everything's digital, they don't have to do anything special. There's nothing they can do to make it special when you buy something that's digital. It's like that.
Yeah.
And there are instances where it was done poorly, where like there's a band called Primer 55, and track 55 was just them screaming cuss words. Yes. I used to call my friend's answer machine and leave it on his answer machine at his house.
But you would.
I would. But so there's like people would start doing dumb stuff like that, and it's not creative or cool like, you know, how Trent Reznor or Manson or whatever did
people
it.
used it for artistic reasons. Yeah.
To me, an album is a completed project, and I try not to pay attention to EP or LP or any of that kind of stuff, because oftentimes an EP is an artist's completed project.
Right,
and
yeah.
So to me, that's an album. If they're going to put out an EP as an album, it's an album.
Right.
I don't pay attention to how many tracks are on the record or anything like that. It's just...
So the weird thing about EPs, and I'm so sorry, Michelle, we're going to talk about EPs for a second. I know it's a trigger word for you. The weird thing about EPs is they used to be meant to be holdovers. An example I can use is like David Lee Roth. When he left Van Halen, the whole world was like, well, who's going to win this battle, right? Van Halen or David Lee Roth, right? And he put out an EP called Crazy from the Heat of 4 songs, basically to be like, to beat Van Halen to the punch, right? Or like Elvis or the Beatles had like EPs that were like holding the fans over until the next record was out.
But were those songs then put on the next record?
Not usually,
Okay.
no. Like, well, the David Lee Roth for sure. Now, I'm certain the Beatles or Stones or Elvis stuff ended up being repurposed on like hits packages at least. But for years, that's what EPs were meant for. And I feel like first of all, I think EPs are way more common in the rap genre.
I was going to
now.
say, this is probably because of the amount of rap and hip hop that I listen to. That they oftentimes are not concept albums, and they a lot of times are recorded. There's songs that are coming out nowadays that were recorded 5 years ago, and you have no idea.
Right.
It's just, and it's all on the same album, and it doesn't. You wouldn't know that because it's not.
One thing that I want to say in defense of how much rap artists use EPs, Michelle, I know we're really sticking on this EP topic. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm already shoe shopping in my head.
You sure? Yeah. The reason why I defend that is because if you only have so much to say, then just say that.
Yeah.
You know, when the CD format came out, what happened initially was artists were still putting out records that were 40 minutes or so because of the limitations of LP, right? And then all of a sudden, everybody was like, well, there's 80 minutes, so we should just fill that. You don't have 80 minutes worth of stuff to say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and there's so many albums that come out. Like, a couple weeks ago, we were spinning All Eyes on Me. And the topic came up in the middle of listening to the 4 LP set that is All Eyes on Me. Everybody in the room was universally like, man, you could cut out half this record and it would be the greatest rap record ever made. You know? It's like, you don't have to fill 80 minutes just because you have 80 minutes to fill. So all of that is to say that's how I defend rappers having an EP, because if you only have so much to say, you don't need to make another 6-7 songs.
And to
You
me,
don't get paid more for it, do you?
I don't think so.
like to me, it doesn't matter. Like the new Kanye record's 26 songs. And then there's other records that are 7 songs. And
Well,
it does
the
not
latest
matter to me.
Sturgill Simpson record
Yeah.
is like 28 minutes or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and Sturgill
Perfect.
got in, got out. Where does that fit into your EP LP hierarchy, Michelle?
I don't fucking know, man.
I will say, oftentimes EPs leave me wanting more of what I've been hearing,
Which is great.
Yeah, but then it cuts off, and there's nothing else. You know, with an LP, you have a full record to listen to, yada yada. But it doesn't. I really don't. I try not to pay attention either way, and I just listen
Just
to
take
it.
what you get.
I'm willing to accept whatever they're willing to give me.
So, do albums matter to you personally? Like, if someone puts out an EP and you're like, oh, damn it, I wish you had more.
Yeah.
Would you rather people put out full albums, or would you rather they just put out what they have when they have it?
I think a lot of it. So it's tough because I think a lot of it's because the record label, and a lot of it's because of the creative process.
Yeah.
If you are only able to kick out 7 songs and that's all you can do, is all you can give the label, whatever, then that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't want you to force other shit onto this stuff, and then for it not to make sense, not to be good.
Right. Yeah.
So if you've got 7 songs, I'm good with that. If you got 26 songs, I'm also good with that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What about you, Michelle? Does the album matter to you at all, or do you just want to get whatever music is there? I feel like you're a value-driven person. Like, if you're going to pay someone $15 for something, like, you better be. I feel like, let me put it this way. If you went into, let's talk about an alternate universe where you go to the record store.
I do have a gift card that's burning a hole in my pocket.
You do. Apparently, it's not burning a hole in my pocket.
Yeah, I have a baby.
And as we know, famously, children are not allowed in record stores.
They break stuff.
Right, yes.
They drool all over it.
I feel like if you walked into Dearborn Music and you paid $15 for the new Sturgill Simpson CD, and
Which
then
I wouldn't.
and then it was 28 minutes, you would be like, I got ripped off.
No.
Really? Okay.
I don't. Unless an album is too long, then I don't care.
Which is every album for you.
If we're talking like a 90-minute shit show, then no, like I don't. I would much rather it be short and sweet and everything be fire. I just feel like at 90 minutes or whatever, 80 minutes, like I have a hard time believing that you can get 80 minutes of fire. There's going to be there's going to be a lot of filler in there. So I want the most quality over quantity for for my dollar.
For sure.
And so if they're charging me like $20 for 5 songs, then we're going to fight. But like 12, 18 songs, 25 songs, it doesn't really matter.
I don't mean to overly praise the Beatles. Like, I personally am a big Beatles fan, and I understand that a lot of people are and a lot of people aren't. But here's my thing. Whether or not you personally like the Beatles, I think we can all agree that Paul McCartney, the team of McCartney and Lennon, is universally regarded as one of the greatest songwriting teams in the history of the game, right? Mm-hmm. Beatles had like 8 or 9 studio records, and they had one that was a double album. One. From what people regard as the best songwriting team in the history of the world. So here's my thing. If Paul McCartney and John Lennon didn't put out more than one double record together, you probably shouldn't need to.
Has Paul McCartney done it on his own?
Double record? Mm-hmm. I'm not a Paul solo expert guy. Plus, Paul's got like 17 solo things, like other than the Beatles, like Beatles and Wings and.
I always think he's in Cream.
Nope.
It's
there is
Wings,
another English person that was in Cream, though. Can
Phil
you
Collins.
get no? An English guitar player?
Sting.
Yes, Sting, known for his lead guitar work. The bass player from The Police, who was known for his lead guitar playing. You can do this. English guitar player.
Ozzy Osbourne.
Who, yes, known for his lead guitar playing as well. You very recently found out this person was English.
Eric Clapton.
Eric Clapton was in Cream. So getting back to what in the hell I was talking about in the first place.
Eric Clapton and Paul McCartney are confusing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, people say that all the time. People are like, yeah.
R.E.M., Pearl Jam, McCartney,
Eric Clapton. Here you go. Watch this. I'm going to bring it all the way back. Eric Clapton did play on a Beatles song, and it was on their one double album.
See, I knew that. I was bringing it all together.
They were all English together at the same time. So, but anyways, that's my thing is with, I love an album, and I don't need it to be a certain length. All I want from an album is for it to be a snapshot of where that artist is at that time. Because
So you don't care if it's 80 minutes?
if there's enough there to warrant 80 minutes, then yeah, fine, bring it. That's good for me. But also, like the latest Sturgill, I'm not mad that it's 25 or 28 minutes.
I will say
either.
I probably don't even notice an album's length unless it's too long.
And which again is most of the time.
Yes. Unless it's extended.
Speaking of albums that are too long, wait till next week's when Kyle has an album first review. I want Kyle to go find something like that one weekend record he had you do that was like 17
That was
CDs
Cheater Pumpkin Eater.
You're still mad about that. It's literally like 60 episodes later and she's still mad about that. So how has streaming affected the album? And this is more the meat of the discussion, like what we think is going to happen in the future. Like how do you think, Kyle, streaming has affected the record? And again, this comes back to that Kanye discussion, because that's not an album to me. If you constantly rework the same thing over the next several years, then that you didn't put out an album, you put out some notes and then kept updating those notes.
Yeah. See, I'm fucking old. I miss everything about how music used to come out.
Me too.
So like as much Spotify as I listen to, because that's what is readily available.
Yep.
I miss fucking anticipating a CD coming out and then there being secret stuff on there, or like the album artwork. It was just, I miss all of that stuff.
Dude, we're recording this one day after the 30-year anniversary of Use Your Illusion.
Yeah.
And like the year leading up to that was like fever pitch hype. Like people waited outside the record store like 12 hours before Use Your Illusion came out to be like waiting to get their hands on those two albums at the same time, you know? And now it's just like you just turn on your phone on Friday and it's just...
Yeah, and that's so...
And there's Fancy Like.
When I got into vinyl, I kind of started to feel like that again.
Mm-hmm.
Like you get that feeling back to where you're like waiting for something, and then you get to physically touch it. And but the only problem is, if I'm in my car, I can't bring my damn vinyl with me and play it. So everything now is just so on the go, and like you said, you can upload an album and then one day later be like, oh wait, hold on, that I'm missing 4 tracks off there. Let me upload the rest of it. Like it's more, I don't know, it's just less polished of a process.
You see,
now.
and so that's what I have in my notes too, is like there's a double-edged sword of it being immediate.
Yeah.
Right? Like, for example, and it was a running joke, I make fun of GNR for not releasing music all the time, but literally like a month ago on at a Thursday concert, they played a new GNR song and Axl was like, oh, and that's going to be out at midnight. And like done. Like it was on streaming the next day, right? Especially in the barren wasteland that is GNR releasing stuff. That's awesome for fans, right? Yeah. But on the flip side, though, it also means that now people can just put out whatever crap crossed their mind and be like, here's my new song. And I feel like people are going to cause huge dents in their career doing that.
Yeah.
You know, people are going to be like, well, this is terrible.
And a lot of it's everything used to have to be approved by somebody. Mm-hmm. And that was your finished project. That's what you owed the label that you were on. And that's what got put out. But now everyone is there's a lot of people that are independent and they just put out whatever they want.
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever crosses their mind.
Yeah. All the time. And then there's other things where like Kanye claimed that the label released Donda without even him saying that it was done.
Horseshit.
Yeah. But like, so it's just, I don't know.
And then I don't think it's a good thing that you can go back and correct stuff.
Right.
I think that when you're like, what if the Mona Lisa came out and then a week later it was like, oh wait, she was supposed to be smiling. Like no one would have been debating that for the last.
A better way to go about that would be to just release a deluxe version later on. And it has the shit that you left off.
Or hell, take the fans for the super box set version, you know? Like, oh, here's all the demos. You know what I mean?
The one thing I can say that I do enjoy about things being digital is, like, the surprise shock drops that happen, where, like, you're not anticipating that, like, Eminem's done it, Beyonce's done it.
Right.
And GNR just did it with that single.
Yeah.
So shit just comes out. And
see, and all of that used to happen back in the 50s and 60s, but in a different way.
Yeah,
like Pink Floyd, they had 5 7-inch singles come out before their first album even came out, because the record label was like, oh, here's more Pink Floyd music, here's more Pink Floyd. And then by the time the first record came out, which is none of the songs from the singles appear on the first LP. And when that came out, it was like, again, the hype had grown and people were like, oh, I got to go get this, brand new, all this full collection of Pink Floyd stuff. And I feel like people could do that, like the John Mayer thing, right? But to me, why don't you put out those songs that he put out over whatever, I'm sure I'm wrong on this, but 3 years or however long it was, and then put out Sob Rock and have that be a whole new collection of songs that you did. I just feel like it's super lazy to be like, here's a whole bunch of songs, and they're like, I wrote 4 more, and here's the album.
Yeah, and I really miss looking forward to when things were gonna, like, you knew way in advance when shit was gonna come out, right?
Yeah.
I really miss looking forward, like when so I'll use Yeezus as an example. That
Jesus or Yeezus?
Yeezus.
Okay.
Jesus is coming back though.
Michelle's a big believer. You can listen to her other podcast. It's all about religion.
I think I was working midnights or something at the time, and
Michelle's Jesus Gems is the name of that.
I got off work, so Yeezus came out on that Friday or whatever. I got off work on Thursday morning. Or on Friday morning, early Friday morning, and drove directly to Meyer and bought it before it even was put out on the shelf. On CD format.
Yep.
Because I was so excited for it to come out.
Scratched up CD, right?
It's blank. There's no artwork.
Yeah, but
or
it looks
anything.
like scratched up stuff. This is totally off topic, but 2 of my favorite CDs from that era is that.
Yeah.
Just because it's so cool looking. Like I was like, holy, you just went and did that, you know? And then I think System of a Down, Steal This Album. That looks like a CDR, like with a marker on it. It looked awesome. But all of that is gone.
Yeah.
But that's more of a, I don't know if this is the right way to say it, but like that's more of the devil of streaming in general.
Yes.
But I do think it ties into albums because I don't think I think we're going to keep going towards artists feeling like they don't have to present a full piece of work.
And especially if you're an independent artist, you don't have anyone to answer to. So you can just put out stuff whenever you want.
Yeah. How do you think, Michelle, about like how streaming is affecting the album?
So I do enjoy that, like when there was a global pandemic, that there was artists who were releasing stuff, like they were recording it in their homes.
I just want to say that you're on record as you having said
you do enjoy the global pandemic.
So that's another gem.
Oh boy,
from Michelle.
When there was a global pandemic, that artist, you didn't even. That's going to be a case of you just taking snippets of what I say, twisting my words.
Nope, you just said that.
No.
But go on. But what, Michelle? Tell us more about what you missed from the pandemic. When artists were doing what?
When we were stuck in our houses and artists were recording like in their home studios and releasing new art when, there wasn't really a lot of stuff coming out because everything had stopped. The world had stopped and we couldn't do that without streaming services and stuff like that. You wouldn't be able to get music that fast.
Right.
But I do enjoy a completed work of art that you're just releasing. Singles are one thing, and I don't mind 1 or 2 singles ahead of time to give you like a preview of the album. But this whole 4 or 5 songs, and then they end up on another record, or they don't, or
and like a part of that too is user error. Like the John Mayer record or Sturgill. And there was something else recently where like over half the record, this is years ago, but the last Roger Waters studio album, the Wolfgang Van Halen album, everybody I know kept being like, dude, have you heard the new Van Halen? And I was like, nope. Like I'm going to, I heard one song and I'm going to wait till the album comes out, So for me, I still control that. Like I have the ability to control that. Yeah. I don't listen to records until.
You have that ability?
I do. I have so many talents you don't know about.
Now that you mentioned that new Johnny Craig record that I mentioned from my Jammy Jams, I think that over half that record was already out as singles before it even came out.
Yeah.
So I'd already heard half the damn thing before I even listened to it.
Yeah. See, and I at least stopped myself from doing that.
Yeah.
So
but what if it never comes out?
Yeah, and that's the other danger, right? I mean, if it's if like 5 or 6 years go by, eventually I'll probably be like, all right, fine. this is not coming.
It was 3 years though. Is your limit.
Well, it's like that new GNR song. All the GNR fans were like, sweet. So album coming, and GNR's like, probably not. So what do you think the future of the album is, Michelle? Like, do you think as a whole it's going to go away? Do you think it's going to stick around? What do you think is going to happen?
I think that it'll stick around because it's the moneymaker. Like, I don't think that record labels are making, or the people who actually physically put the records together, they're not making any money by you listening to it digitally. So I think it's going to stick around. I think it's going to be a lot of piecemeal stuff. It's going to be, and I don't mind people like putting feelers out, like with the single, being like, "What do you guys think about this?" But to release 3 or 4 or 5 songs and then be like, "Okay, you guys really do like half this record? Okay, I'll finish it now."
Right.
Like,
so how do you feel about how Kanye released Donda, where he let everyone listen to the entire record, not knowing if it was going to be 100% when it came out ahead of time?
You know my feelings on Kanye.
Just the process of that. So normally artists
Let's say Mumford & Sons did that.
Normally artists have a listening party, and it's for like 10 people of their closest friends in a room and record execs, and they get to listen to it before it comes out. This time, everyone got to listen to it before it came out.
But like, so then he still went back and tooled it 3 or 4 times, and he still wasn't happy with it. So like, you're asking for too much feedback. I feel like there's definitely a point where you can get too lost into, this crowd didn't cheer at this part, and this crowd cheered at this part.
I think that's what happened.
You
when he
get
did
too
that.
lost. Like, I find that a lot. If I ask too many people about personal problems, like if I go to like 7 different people, like it gets to be too much. Like you can't do that. I can't imagine doing it to millions of people to find out what parts you like about my music. Maybe one time, like I could see him doing it one time, just doing a general listening party and then tweaking some stuff, not re-recording entire portions of the whole album and like adding tracks and stuff like that. That I don't like.
So I rarely do this on the show, but I'm going to be all doom and gloom about this with my answer to this.
Boy.
I think the future of the album is shit. I think for a multitude of reasons, mostly going back to record labels. Record labels will take whatever they can get, however they can get it.
Yes.
Okay. And we have really devolved in artist development in the past 20 years, like setting streaming aside, right? Like when I was a kid, from John, Paul, George, and Ringo on, everybody knew every member of every band. Not just me. Everybody knew every member of every band. And then somewhere around the late 90s or early 2000s, it became Bush, Gavin Rossdale, and some other people. Rob Thomas and some other people. Brandon Flowers and some other people, right? And now we're to the point now where like most people I know that are younger that consider themselves music fans, they're like, oh, that one song by the guy. The guy from TikTok, the guy. And I
feel personally attacked.
Well, I know I'm not like sideways attacking you or TikTok, but I'm saying
because you're staring at me.
We're getting less and less real artists and personalities, and I think that the record labels are going to be like, sweet, one and done. Like we only got to pay this kid once and be done with this, and not even put time and energy into the studio to like record a full thing.
I can see that definitely happening.
Yeah, so I feel like the medium is going to become the death of the record, not because people don't want more. Like I want to go out and buy people's full albums and everything, like the same exact thing you were saying, Kyle. But the record labels, I think, are going to force it to be less and less and less available. Mm-hmm. And Sturgill Simpson can be as big of a cowboy about it as he wants to, like as go color outside lines as he wants to. That's one guy.
Yep.
You're going to have people who, even quote unquote real artists who might want to do that, they're going to have to play ball by the system. And the system is going to be, the record labels want to get as much as they can out of as little as possible. And for me, the lowest common denominator is put one guy out doing one song and then rinse and repeat, because there's a line out the door of people who want to be big. So I personally am like real scared for the future of the album. And I think it branches out to way more. Like you can just look at me and go, oh, okay, well, you're old and albums and, like Grandpa doesn't get streaming and whatever. Like, sure, you can make that argument, but like I'm more concerned with everything else that branches off of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I want to have strong personalities in my art, right? And I think that this is going to lead to us not getting that at all.
Maybe it'll lead to no stinkers.
No, that's not.
It's leading to all stinkers.
Yeah, it's going to lead to all stinkers. Which, by the way, is exactly the opposite of our motto. So, Kyle, what do you think the future of the album is? Hopefully you can find a balance, because Michelle was like, it's probably fine. And then I was like, no, it's the worst thing that's ever happened.
I think that the music industry finally realized that they were no longer a necessary tool in music. So they had to find the easiest way to be that necessary tool, which is to sign anyone and everyone to put out one song at a time. And they put out an album, one song is the single, and you never hear from them ever again.
Yep.
And like you said, it's just rinse and repeat. And that's all. There's more artists out now than there has been ever.
Yeah.
In all, like, especially in like hip hop and stuff. There's people you never heard of. You find on TikTok. They have an album out. You'll never hear from them in 6 months.
Yep.
And that was the album's or the record label's way of getting $1 million bucks.
And what happened during that 6 months? The record label got paid.
Yep.
No one else did. And then no one cares about this person.
Yes.
That was whoever the artist was.
So there's no more. The way that we are right now, there's no more of the working 2 years to put together a polished project
Right.
that you really care about,
Like
that
we
you
said
want to
earlier,
present to the world.
a snapshot of your life.
Yeah. It's non-existent currently. And do I hope that it goes in reverse and people start caring about the shit that they're putting out? Absolutely.
Yeah, but I have found in my 40-some years of listening to music that the more I hope for things to happen right in the music industry, the less they do.
Yes.
So I'm just worried. I made myself super mad at the end of this episode, like way more mad than I meant to get. But this is important to me, And like I say, it's not just, Grandpa wants an album on vinyl. It's not that. It's like I want an artist that has something to say that I can identify with. And this is not to shit on pop music. I love pop music, of all decades. There's a time and a place for all of it.
It's funny that you mentioned this because there's a recent interview that T-Pain did. And he just talks about how, just do something original.
Yeah.
He's like, there's 8 people out right now with baby in their name. Just go do something, be original, do something different, and succeed off of that.
But the record labels aren't going to roll with that.
No, the record will...
Especially if you have something to say.
Yes.
No matter... we avoid politics on the show, but, especially if you have something to say about... Like for Roger Waters, okay? This guy has a lot to say about the world situation as a whole, as far as politics, right? That dude would never get signed today. Ever.
Yes.
Because he's got a strong personality and the ability to touch people, right? Record labels don't want that. Because if they put that guy on a pedestal, then they got to pay him what he's worth, play by his rules. So again, if you take Roger Waters was signed in 65 with Floyd, right? Say 8 years later, you get The Dark Side of the Moon. So if you're playing by today's rules, you never get one of the largest selling records of all time because the record labels are scared to employ an artist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It used to be quality over quantity. And that's why...
Which is what Michelle's going for.
That's
all she's asking
That's
for.
why everyone has held on to the artists that they've held on to for so long. And now it's quantity over quality.
Yeah.
And it's just as many checks as they can get coming in at once, even if it only lasts for 6 months, is what's going to...
Yeah, because they'll just rinse and
bills.
repeat.
Yes.
Yeah. So having said that, that's why I'm worried about the future of the album.
And I don't think that I even appreciated this as much as I do now. I've been watching... that Wu-Tang show on Hulu, An American Saga. It's like a...
It's not called Feed the Wu-Tang.
No. So it's the story of how they became Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah.
It's like a sitcom TV show.
Yeah.
Seeing all of the work that was put into them being who they are, and you don't hear them releasing shit on their own or just... They're the Wu-Tang Clan, and they are who they are because of what they did.
Right.
And they're not going to waste their time tainting that image that they've created to make more money nowadays.
Yeah.
And I really watching this show, I'm like, God, man, this is amazing.
Yeah. And again, at the risk of being the old guy, the list is a mile long. Grandmaster Flash, LL Cool J, Kool Moe Dee, Run DMC, Public Enemy, NWA, all the way up through and to include Biggie, Tupac, Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
And then who in the last 10 years?
Yeah.
Little and Baby.
Yeah.
And a million of them that are disposable. And I think it's because of the fact that the album format is just continuing to be less and less existent.
Yeah.
So I try to be real positive on the show, but nope, not this week. That's what I'm upset over. So, we always hit people up for feedback and everything. By all means, leave us a voicemail or go on any of our socials. And I would love for people, we have in the past, all three of us have said well, here's a really negative view on this. And we've had people tweeted us or leave Facebook comments and be like, well, look at it this way. And I've been like, oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. And so
Cheer us up.
I will say too, technology improves almost everything, right? To a certain degree.
Yeah. I don't like robots, but go on.
And so technology obviously has improved the way we consume music to a certain degree.
It has the ability to.
It has the ability to, but because of how it was done, the ball was put in too many courts.
Yeah.
And then now it's a free-for-all.
Yep.
So everyone's having to it's a grab bag on how you can make the money.
Which, again, had the ability to be a great thing, but isn't.
Yes.
Yeah. So, having said that, next week we're going to continue our album review series. You should make it an EP next week, just to make Michelle mad. Next week, we are going to do our album review series again, and this time it will be back around to Kyle, and then I think soon after that is my pick for album review.
Yep, for the 100th time, that's how it goes.
Yeah. Sure is. I want to make clear that this episode begins and ends with Michelle reminding me of something that was said.
You're welcome.
On the show. Yeah, I appreciate that gem.
Yes.
So we are rolling up on our 100th episode. So if you are still with us, please make sure to use our hotline or our email address and send us a 1 to 3 minute clip of you talking about an artist or album. Remember when albums were a thing?
Yeah.
That had a positive impact on your life. We would greatly appreciate that. Like we always say about this time, without music, life would be a mistake. Bye.
Infectious Groove Podcast is hosted by Russ Robinson, Kyle Wimple, and Michelle Koselecki. Produced and edited by Russ Robinson. Intro and outro music composed by Chris Kimmel. Opening credits read by Stacey Robinson. Recorded with a Rode Podcaster Pro and Rode Pod mics.